Tagliaretti. Please, Luca, come to the floor. Big applause for him. Luca took us to this bureau as of 1st of February, and now he's already very active and he's going to present you what is ongoing now.
Thank you, Ivan, and of course, Bună dimineața. Welcome everyone to beautiful Bucharest. I want first of all to thank the representative of Monarchia, the Secretary of State, for the welcome, and also for hosting us today here in Bucharest. So we are really excited for the event. We have more than 250 people registered. It's really a success, which somehow exceeded our expectation. We initially had in mind 150, but really this was a very good sign from the market. We have people from 23 member states, representing really a broad spectrum of industry, academia, EU institution, member states, so really a great success. Thank you for being here. The success of the event is really for you. I mean, if you will interact during the day, if you will network, if you present questions, if you actively contribute, that will be a success. And from my side, it's already a great success. So, what is the ECCC? Yes. Sorry, just a second. Okay. I have to do more myself. So, what do we do today? The main topic of the day will be the discussion of the Digital Europe program. In particular, we will focus on the open call, the 06, which is now at the moment open, and we will do this in an interactive way. So there will be a presentation for some of the member states which already apply. So we'll see best practices. There will be tips and tricks from someone who will tell us how to better apply to grants. There will also be, which I think is very interesting, a session on pitching ideas. So the way we want to cooperate is together with member states. So what we want to do is everyone who has an idea, you want to build a consortium, want to build a possibility to do it together. This is the occasion for introducing your idea, presenting, getting support. There will be also a session for the NCC, so I want to thank the NCC also for being here. We are European Cyber Competence Center and the network of the NCC, so we do it together. So thanks for coming here. And also there will be a part which will be focused on the future. What do we want to invest in the future? What are the areas where we want to have your ideas, your contribution, so that we will not just have a top-down approach in the agenda, will be something built as a group. And then also there will be the possibility of networking. So there will be a number of coffee breaks, lunch, and then a cocktail at the end of the day. So please take the opportunity to meet. We have a booth downstairs also, where you could meet our colleagues. I will be around. If you want to have a coffee or discussion, there will be a separate room. So let's take this opportunity to build this as a great event. Now let me talk a little bit about the ECCC. So the ECCC, we like to call it the engine for the implementation of the strategy of Europe in research, innovation, industrial policy in the area of cybersecurity. So we are created to enable the policy of the Union to be implemented through a number of mechanisms. As you can see, it's a recent institution, just established in 2021. We are not yet fully independent from the European Commission, so the Commission so far have been providing all the financial or the oversight mechanism necessary for the funding to be granted and follow. The role of the Commission will slowly decrease as we become more and more independent. At the moment, we expect the independence to be completed by the end of summer, say Q3. Okay, there's a number of elements that we need to consider, but this is our target. This is also the time when we expect to be in our final office space. So now we use one floor in this beautiful building at the Polytechnica, but later we'll get more space for ourselves. We will be really able to have our own agenda together with you. The office is at the west side of the city, or close to the Polytechnica. We cannot go to there, but in the future, hopefully, we'll have an event over there. At the moment, 30 staff members. This is growing. We have 38 in this financial in this period, but we expect this as the number of grants will grow, and you will see later how this is growing exponentially, how this will also increase our footprint. So how is this agenda implemented? So how do we make sure that we fund the project which is the EU as a strategic in the strategic plan? We do the mission. Our mission is basically based on three main pillars. Two pillars are somehow inside, looking at the European Union with an inward look. The third one is more an outside projection. The first mission is how to reinforce our strategic leadership and autonomy in cyber. This means, on one hand, reinforcing the critical infrastructure, so implementing the NIS regulation. On the other hand, reinforcing our know-how and knowledge, training, course, uptake, and so on. And also making sure that we are more resilient from external attack and from internal attack. So this is the first pillar. Second pillar is how do we build this in the long term? So how do we ensure that this mission is guaranteed for the future? We do through supporting technological capacity building. So how do we, through education, but also through the synergy and through the best practices to be shared between member states to be common. In this way, we ensure that the first pillar is also move forward in the future. Third element of our mission is more outward looking. So how do we project the European economy, the European power, soft power, economical power outside of the Union? We do this by increasing the competitiveness of our industry, and this is happening as a consequence of the other two. So we build technology, we build know-how, we build the research, and this will also make our company more competitive on the international market, where we know Europe is not always the leading country, the leading entity. So we need to build that. How do we move from the mission to the implementation? We have a number of instruments. Well, the first one is the translation of the priority into an action plan, into an actionable, roadmap. And this is the strategic agenda. Strategic agenda is already created. Now we are moving from the agenda to a more action plan, which is happening as we talk to our governance body. We do also by providing funds. So, okay, the direction is the agenda, but the way that we enable the agenda is by providing funds. And we do two mechanisms: Horizon Europe, Digital Europe program, which I will cover in a next slide. And also we do through the coordination with member states. As I said at the beginning, my team already heard me repeat many times that the cybersecurity is a team sport. We can only do it together. So member state initially is our first connection, first network, but also industry, research institution. This is our network that we need to build. So we need to build a community. That's a very challenging work. And then we also do by acquiring, in some cases, ICT infrastructure. This is an activity also happening at the moment. So I'll talk about the two mechanisms. You probably are very aware. Digital Europe program and Horizon Europe, very different type of priority and use. That is more for capacity building projects. This is the project that we are now presenting today, and later on our colleagues from the Commission will go in detail into that. Horizon Europe is more research and development. So at the moment the center is mainly managing that project. This will in the future change. There will be a process for that, but also Horizon Europe will come at least a part under our purview. And so the center is using these funds, funneling these funds through project directly or via the National Cooperation Center, so different mechanisms depending on the project. And sometimes with co-investment, sometimes with member states, sometimes co-investment by the industry. So as Mr. Nicolescu said before, the center is the main instrument for pooling investment. So this is our main topic. The Digital Euro program, it's EU funding program to support and accelerate digital transformation. Our society is moving into a digital space. Our market is moving into a digital space. We see this happening more, especially started from 2019 during COVID, but this is a program, is a process that is ongoing. So we also need to enable the EU citizen, the industry, to have the tool to respond to this cultural shift, to the transformation. And this is why that has been established. 5 elements, 5 main pillars: supercomputing, and for this the Union created the supercomputing, one of the joint undertaking. Artificial intelligence, very much in the news now with the Act, but also with the institution of a more structured body within the Union to be defined. Cybersecurity trust, and this is where we come into place together with other partners, like ESA, for example. Advanced digital skill, so the Digital Skill Academy, for give an example, and then somehow the integration of all this, so the deployment of the technology in the market and the capability and interoperability. So this is a bit of something which encompasses all the 5 steps. Now, a few numbers on where we stand at the moment with the investment, with the grants. So even before mentioned, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, now we're looking at 25, 26. From the first 4 call, from 21 to now, we already have more than 113 projects. So we founded 113 projects, 375 million invested in the first, 380 million, I think, or 325 million invested, 327, 375, but the total is around 700 million already invested from now to the end of the year. More than 100 project, 130, more than 500 beneficiaries, and you can see from the slide we have, especially in the beginning, 21, 22 projects focused on building this network, building the resilience. So NCCs, Security Operations Center, but then more than 50 projects on health, cybersecurity, resilience, needs support. So there was a lot which was also allocated to that type of activity. This call now is for 71 million. There will be another one to the end of the year, which I think is 85 million. So the amount is growing, and this is just that. So we have to see when Horizon Europe will come into the picture. The distribution, very much across Europe in a uniform way. Some member states more active than others, but every member state somehow receive funds or grants for projects. You will see on the side the coordinators, and on the other side the beneficiary. So the beneficiaries are more, the coordinator is generally one entity which acts as a consortium. So you will see this 113 project. You know, some member states have been more active, but this is okay. It's an opportunity for all of us to learn what we could do better. This is why we have this event today. You can take a picture, but later the slide will be available, so don't worry, everything will be there. No secret, and also in our car, the activity report, which will be published, I think will make available around May, June. There will be a lot more breakdown for all the different projects. So full transparency. You know, our topic, one of our main objectives is to fund small and medium enterprise, because this is the sector in the industry which is less ready for science. So we know big corporation, big organization, they have their resources. Small and medium enterprise, there's some study that 1 out of 30% of those who are affected by cyber attack go out of business. So we need to make sure that small and medium enterprise have enough resources to be protected. And this is why I'm very happy to see that 40% of our grants were focused on that. So this is with good results. And you will see 50% if you look at the compartment, the different part of the industry, 50% are private, but then we have public bodies, institutions, education institutions, research and technology centers, so quite a good distribution. 2 examples, just to give an example of some of the projects we are funding at the moment. Again, there are 113. We just selected a couple of them. One is SocShare, which is going on now in Lithuania, which is sharing the extraction of the information which are necessary for being shared with other SOCs. So this is protocol which will define the format and the type of information to be shared when we look into a network of SOC, and this is already happening. Already 60 data sets have been created, so ongoing project. Another one, Schlepius, apologize if the name is not correct, probably the project manager has a different way of calling it, but okay, this is on health sector. So this is one finance in 2021, 2022. And this especially is something came out after COVID-19. I'm going quickly, what are the next steps for the ECCC? One is clearly the autonomy. When we have autonomy, we'll also be able to implement in full the objective 3 of the DEP, cybersecurity, coming to the end of the year. After that, already somehow in parallel, this is happening, the responsibility for the cluster 3 of Horizon Europe, which is also very important, is a very significant budget. One important activity that we are working now is one part of the Cyber Solidarity Act, which is the creation of the SOCs. In the Cyber Solidarity Act, there is an idea of creating national SOCs. The SOCs need to be then connected with each other and also connected in cluster to create a cyber shield. I know this name is being discussed. I'm not sure if this is the latest formulation, but that's in a way the idea. So the ECCC is managing co-managing the selection, the tender for the SOCs, and also for the ownership of the infrastructure. So that's a big activity that we are working at the moment. This will be completed by the end of the year. This is the tendering phase. And then I mentioned before the community. We cannot do it alone. We need to build this community. This is one event, but this needs to be structured formalized in a way that we ensure that everyone has a voice. So there is a process which also requires the creation of a special advisory group in our governance body and a way of collecting feedback. So that's a big another big step which will come probably at the beginning of 2025. I mean, that's depending on the other activity. And the last is the implementation of a strategic agenda, so matching the agenda with the investment to ensure that we provide funds for the project that need to be funded. And then more or less what we do. I think it's with a team of 30 people, it's already an exceptional amount of work. So I'm happy that really we managed to have so much response today. I will be available today for any call, but anyone of the team also will be available. You recognize they were supposed to have a t-shirt, but at least they have a badge. So you please interact with us, and let's make it a success. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Luca. Thanks a lot. Yeah, let's pick some figure.